Well, people ain't getting married as much anymore. Why? Number one, it's so goddamn expensive. Cost of living has went up dramatically. I remember people used to get married every weekend back in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. Now the cost of living has soared sky high, and people are not getting, they don't got the money. They don't got, you know what I'm saying? And then you got high value men who don't want to settle down, who don't want to calm down. They got so many options, they don't want to settle down. And high value man got so many options, why should he? Why should he get stuck on one woman just for that shit to end in divorce, and she try to take half of everything? I know I wouldn't get married. Once I become a high value man, I wouldn't want to get married, bro, especially to a gold digger, a woman who's just after me for my money. Because most of the time, the women that you deal with, when you're a high value man, are gold diggers. And we don't mind that. As long as we got some options and we got access to sex on the regular, we don't mind that. But a lot of them, they just be after you for your money. So why marry them? You see what I'm saying? If they can live with you, maybe cohabitation, but never get married. As a man with a whole lot of money, a whole lot of options. You see, Floyd Money Mayweather never got married, even though he was gonna marry, Miss Jackson, but that was all the front. When he got in trouble with the law, with his ex, he was pretending to marry Miss Jackson, so the judge could be like, oh, he's moved on. He got a fiance and everything. He ain't tripping off her. But you'll never see Floyd Money Mayweather get married, or Diddy. I think, did Jay-Z marry Beyonce? I think they still boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't remember them getting married. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are gold diggers, man. When you become high value man, so I get married to them hoes. You see what I'm saying? I be too busy getting revenge on, man. I be too busy getting revenge on. Feel what I'm saying? That's what I be doing. Pumping and dumping, running games. Feel what I'm saying? That's what I would be doing. It's too much risk, man. It's too much risk coming up with that shit, man. What's up with it? There's too much risk involved. You think about the marriage, the rate of getting, God damn it, my words all fucked up. I just woke up. The percentage of your marriage surviving is very, very slim. Like 50% chance that you're gonna get divorced. You feel what I'm saying? There's a 50% chance that your fucking marriage might crumble. You know what I'm saying? That's a high risk. Too many divorces going on. Look at young Jeezy. You thought that him and her was gonna live forever. You thought that was gonna live forever. Nah, man, that was short-lived, man. You know, too much bullshit going on. There was too much bullshit going on. A lot of stuff that was overlooked in the beginning. I'm tired, man. You know, with the technology, Tinder, Bumble, all that shit on the rise, man, it's hard to get married, man. You know? And women are not being serious either, man. They're not being serious about finding the right one because they're so goddamn picky. You know, they thinking that the grass is greener on the other side all the time. They got that shiny object syndrome. You know, what about this object over here? What about that object over here? The shiny object syndrome is when a person sees one shiny object and plays with it for a little bit, and then they see another shiny object, and they see another one and another one. They never want to calm down with just one. But what about that one over there? That one shines brighter. Let me go check that out. That's what women have nowadays, bro. You know, high value men got it too, man, but it's not good for a woman to have it though. Men, we can have the shiny object syndrome, but women, nah, they can't. They got a coochie. A lot of these women, they be busted wide open, man. The girl that I was dealing with that had children, you know, she had about 3 or 4 children. The woman with the retarded son that I dealt with, man, I stuck my dick in that pussy, and man, it was hard for me to even, goddamn, bust a nut in that motherfucker. Her pussy was too wide open. It wouldn't grip my dick. When the pussy is loose, man, it's not good. See what I'm saying? When the pussy is loose, it's not good. It's not a good thing. I remember some of the best pussy I ever had was the tight pussy. Cause you about to fucking bust a nut within like a couple of minutes of stroking. Like, goddamn. That's the best stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which is the younger ones. Feel what I'm saying? So women they're more into being hoes nowadays, man. I witnessed this for myself. Because of social media, they got that shiny object syndrome. The social media is really destroying everything. But even though it does help out, you know, but it destroys a lot of stuff. You know, social media destroyed marriage. It's not the only thing that destroyed marriage. I mean, it's helping. It's helping destroy marriage. Because before that, people stayed together longer. You know, women didn't have the shiny object syndrome before social media, bro. You was able to get relationships, long-term relationships. I know because I was in a, let's see, last time I was in a long-term relationship was in 2006. That's when me and my girlfriend got together. You know, Facebook was just coming out. You know, she just started getting popular, and that was the last time I was in a long-term relationship. But in the meantime, between 2006 all the way up to 2017, social media got way more advanced. You feel what I'm saying? Social media got way more advanced. Then it was hard for me to get a relationship. Now I understand now. You see what I'm saying? I got all these flings and shit. And it's keeping a lot of like people single too, man. You know, that's why I say, man, you gotta get this bag, man. That's the only thing you can fight back with, man. That's the only thing you can fight back with, is you gotta get that bag. Then you can compete, man. Other than that, man, if you don't get this bag, I'm afraid a lot of us gonna stay single until the day that we die, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll settle with an average woman before I die alone, bro. Like if I decided that I'm not gonna chase the bag no more, I'll just get a regular job and get housing or whatever, and just check for an average woman. You feel what I'm saying? I'll settle down with an average looking woman around 5 before I fucking settle alone, before I die alone. You feel what I'm saying? Some dudes are coping. They're looking on the bright side of things. So, oh well, you know what? I'm alone, but I don't have any mortgage. I don't got all these cars to pay for, and life is a lot more simple, which is true. You know, it's still a cope, but it's true. It's fact. Being single is a lot easier, but you're still lonely. You know what I'm saying? You lonely, and you wish you had a woman, and you wish you had sex on the regular. That's where you don't want to be. So there's a seesaw effect. You single, and everything is more simple. There's no nagging and complaining from your woman. You saving money. You know, yeah. These are all the pluses of being single. All the perks of being single, right? But on the other hand, you're lonely. You're jerking your dick every night. You feel what I'm saying? So if I had a choice between being alone by myself and getting married, I'd rather get married than be alone by myself. Like if I had a choice, if somebody just walked up to me and gave me a choice, being married or being single by yourself without a girlfriend and being alone for the rest of your life, I'd rather get married. Give me married. You know, only if I had a choice between the two. Because nobody wants to be alone, man. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be alone. It sucks being by yourself. You see what I'm saying? When I was with my ex-girlfriend, man, I had access to sex pretty much anytime I wanted to. We was having sex like 2 or 3 times a week at least, me and my girlfriend. So that kept the juices going. That kept the juices flowing with me. And when I think back to when I was living with my girlfriend, I think like, God damn, I had it good. I was getting a blowjob once a week. I was getting sex at least twice a week. Like, man, I was good, man. Compared to now. You know what I'm saying? I had it good. So you don't know how good you got it until it's gone. That's that old saying, right? I've been single for 8 years. I haven't had a consistent girlfriend for 8 years. Everything has been flings, one night stands. Desperation kick in like a motherfucker. I scared so many women with my desperation, bro. It was crazy. Remember I told you the women that I was dating at the time when I was trying to get a girlfriend, I was scaring their ass, bro, because I was desperate, man. And it's normal, it's natural. You feel what I'm saying? It's natural to show desperation when there's not enough of something. When you're lonely and you ain't got enough sex in your life. It's natural. You know what? And I tried not to show my desperation, but I couldn't help it. And now, yeah, I'm desperate at this point, but I'm not desperate enough to show down with a. I'm not desperate enough to settle down with a sub-5 stalker. You know what I'm saying? With a sub-5 woman, hell no. Settle down, no. And I'll never ever do that ever again. Settle down with a woman that's below my looks level, please. Bitches are below me. I'm good. Give me an average woman, a 5 or a 6. I'll settle down with that. Because then I can look at her face. A lot of these women who got average looking faces, they okay to look at. My ex-girlfriend, she was okay to look at, bro. She was somewhat pretty. But my girlfriend was a 6. My last girlfriend was, what is 6, man? Probably a 5 or a 6, my last girlfriend. I was able to look at her, man. A lot of these ugly women, you can't look at them. They're not pleasing to the eye, bro. You feel what I'm saying? She need to be pleasing to the eye. I can look at a 5 or a 6 and be like, oh yeah, she's nice. I can see myself settling down with her. When I look at a 3 or a 4 looks, I'll be like, man, no, I can't do that. Hard to look at these women, bro. I'm not the best looking dude in the world, but I'm not sub-5. And these below average women always approaching me, man. I'm good. Like I said, man, marriage is something that you gotta have your finances in check to get married. I mean, some people still get married even though they poor, but it's all about bringing kids into the world, and it's super expensive, bro. They made it super expensive. Out here, bro, we got an aging population. There's a lot more old people out here than it is young people, okay? Super expensive. That's the main thing, the finances. Because back in the 80s, bro, people was having like 4, 5, 6 kids, man. I remember when I was younger, there was some neighbors, man, downstairs, and they was all, they had about at least 8 kids, bro, and they was all living in one apartment. I think it was 2 apartments. They split 2 apartments. I mean, 4 kids stayed in one, and 4 kids stayed in the other one, bro. They had multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 80s and 90s, people were having at least 2 or 3 or 4 kids. Nowadays, because it's so goddamn expensive, people only having 1 or 2 kids nowadays, man. And we're below population replacement, man. It's so expensive, bro. If things were cheaper, people would have more kids. People would get married more. If there were no social media, people would get married more. So a lot of these things, these factors, are destroying marriage in our society. You feel what I'm saying? That's why people are not getting married anymore, bro. Feel what I'm saying? The shiny, number one, in summary, the shiny object syndrome that women got. Men got it too, but mainly a lot of women got it. Number 2, super highly expensive nowadays to have multiple children, bro. To have just one is man. It's expensive within itself. Having just one child is expensive within itself. You see what I'm saying? And marriage is supposed to be about children. That's all it is. That's if it wasn't for children, people wouldn't get married. So the purpose of getting married, you know, the purpose of marriage is to have children. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, man, I'm gonna end this video. Just want to make a short video, man. My videos be way too goddamn long. An hour video. I'm gonna try to shorten it to like half an hour at least. You know what I'm saying? You guys have a good day, man. Peace out, take care, and bless. I gotta go. I'm out.